Bonjour. We will now start with lesson 6. Les amis de Caroline, the friends of Caroline. In this chapter, we will learn about the definite article, les articles définis, and we will learn about nationalities and countries in French. We will first start with les articles définis. Now, what is your definite article in English? It is the, the, the. That is your definite article in English. Now, the corresponding article in French is this: le, la, l apostrophe and les. All of these mean the. Now, when do we use le? When do we use la? When do we use l apostrophe and when do we use les? Now, in English we say the book or the books to make it plural. So, we add a s to the noun. So, same logic will apply here also. In front of masculine singular nouns, we will use le. So, remember we did un livre, which means a book. Now, I want to say the book. I will replace un with le. So, it becomes le livre. A pen, I did un stylo. I want to replace it with the pen. It will be le stylo. La is in front of feminine singular nouns. So, I did une maison, a house. Now, I want to say the house. It will be la maison. I want to say an apple. I want to say now the apple. It will become une pomme, say la pomme. Now, any noun which starts with a vowel or h, it doesn't matter whether it is masculine or feminine. As long as it is singular and starting with a vowel or h, I will use l apostrophe. So, for a homme, which is a man, if I want to say the man, homme is starting with an h, which is a vowel, it will be l apostrophe and then homme, l'homme. École, if you remember, école was feminine, une école, a school. Now, I want to say the school, I will do l apostrophe because école is starting with a vowel. For example, horloge. Horloge means a wall clock. It starts with h. It is actually feminine. In the indefinite article, I will say une horloge, a wall clock. But now, if I want to say the wall clock, I will do l apostrophe, l'horloge. And the plural of all of these would be les. So, if I want to say the book to the books, le changes to les and livre with an s. The pen to the pens, le will change to les, stylo with an s. The house to the houses, la will change to les, maison with an s. La pomme to les pommes, la changes to les, pomme with an s. L'homme, l apostrophe will change to les, homme with an s. L'école, l apostrophe will change to les. École with an s. And this l apostrophe will change to les, horloge with an s. So, this is how we make something plural. Le, la, les. This is not les. This is le, la, les. This is for masculine singular nouns, feminine singular noun. Any singular noun starting with a vowel or h is l apostrophe, and the plural of all of this is les. Now, one example that you will get in the exam is converting from definite to indefinite or indefinite to definite. Now, how do we do that? For example, they give you une gomme and they have asked you to give the corresponding definite article. An eraser to the eraser. Now this is yun, that means it is feminine singular. So in this case the corresponding is la and gom will remain as it is. If it was yun fi, a girl, I have to make it the girl, yun will change to la, girl will remain as it is. Some boys, now this is plural, they. So the corresponding plural is they will become le and garçon remains as it is. Une école, for example. Now this is feminine, but this is starting with a vowel. So in this case it will be L apostrophe and then école. If it was a avion, a plane. So this is masculine singular, but this is starting with a vowel. So this will become like this. Now they can give you the reverse also. We will look at some more examples. If they have given you this, by looking at L apostrophe, you can't make out whether this is masculine or feminine. But if you have memorized your vocabulary well along with the articles, you know horloge is feminine. So if from definite article you have to convert it into indefinite article, this will be une horloge. If it was le fils, this is masculine singular. It is not le, it is le. The son, if I have to write it, a son, a fils, le will change to a. If this was les fils, the sons, so le changes to they, this remains as it is. L'homme, which means a man. Now if you have memorized it well, you know this is masculine singular, so this will be un homme. Le cahier, un cahier. So this is how you will do your exercise. One last example, les crayons will become des crayons. So this is how you will convert from definite article to indefinite article. We studied that we make a noun plural by adding an s. Then we did certain exceptions. So for example, nouns which end with s, x and z in their singular form remain the same in the plural form. So it applies with your definite articles also. So instead of a nose, if it was the nose, le ne, the plural le will become le, ne remains as it is. If it was the cross, la croix, the plural will be as it is. Labus, labus. The nouns ending in s, x or z remain the same in their plural form. The rule that we did with indefinite articles applies in definite articles also. So similarly, nouns which end in e, a, u or eu will take an x in its plural form applies here also. So if I want to say the bird, l'oiseau, this is the word. If I have to make it plural, L apostrophe will become le, oiseau with an x. Le gâteau, les gâteaux. The only exception, or I can't say an exception, but the word is completely different in case we are changing from masculine to feminine, is le copain, with the word for friend. So the spelling for masculine singular is C-O-P-A-I-N, but feminine singular is C-O-P-I-N-E. So this is the only minor difference which is there. It changes completely, and masculine plural is you add an S to the masculine singular, and feminine plural is you add an S to the feminine singular. Now they've given you this note on les articles définis, the last one. the last point that they have mentioned is no article is used before proper names of persons. The logic is same as English. We don't say the Riddhi, right? So if we say this is Riddhi, we don't say this is the Riddhi. So in front of proper nouns, names of people, you will not use any article. So say Pierre, this is Peter. If it was say Manuel, say Riddhi, there is no article which is used in front of proper names or name of people. We will now start with nationalities. Now in French, countries also have a gender. So in case if in front of the country le is written, that means that country is masculine. If la is written, that means that country is feminine. Any country which ends with an e is feminine. There are 4 or 5 exceptions to this rule, but these exceptions you will learn in book number 4 in class 8. So for now, all you have to remember that if the country is ending with an e, that country is feminine, otherwise the country is masculine. So for example, if it is La France, that means France is feminine. In case of India, is land, but India is, now L apostrophe itself does not tell you whether that country is masculine or feminine, but it is ending with an E, that means India is feminine. If it is La Pakistan, that means Pakistan is masculine. So by looking at the article, you can make out whether the country is masculine or feminine. All countries in French have a gender. Countries ending with an E are feminine. There are 4 to 5 exceptions to this rule, which we will study in class 8. Now let us study the nationalities. Now in French, if it's a male who is saying I am French or I am Indian, it is different, and if it's a female, it is different. So for example, we did in adjectives, the adjectives agree with the noun in number and gender. The same logic applies with nationalities, because in a way your nationalities are also your adjectives. So for example, this is a girl, this is an Indian girl, so it is telling you something more about the girl. So the nationalities also act like adjectives and they will agree with the noun in number and gender. So for example, let's take La France. For a masculine, singular nationality is Français. So if it's a male who is saying I am French, it is this. But if it's a female, you will make the nationality feminine by adding an E. So it would be Française. If there are 2 males and they are both French, then you will make it masculine plural. But remember the rule that we studied for nouns and adjectives, that if it ends with an S in its singular form, the plural remains the same. So if there are 2 men and both of them are French, this will be the one that you will use, the same spelling as masculine singular. If there are 2 girls and they are both French, it will be the feminine singular and you will add an S at the end. So there are 4 forms to the nationalities as well. So this is masculine singular, this is feminine singular, your masculine plural remains the same because the singular one is ending with an S, and your feminine plural you will add a S. If we were to take one more example, let's say this is German, Allemand. So this is masculine singular, your feminine singular would be adding an E, and your masculine plural you will add an S, and your feminine plural also you will add an S to your feminine singular form. So these are your 4 forms of nationalities. Now of course there are certain exceptions. Let's take India. Now your masculine singular Indian is INDIEN, Your feminine singular is by doubling the last consonant, just like adjectives bon, gentil, gros that we did. Same logic applies here. N-N-E. Your masculine plural and your feminine plural. Again, your 4 forms. One more example, let's take Italy. This is your masculine singular. You will make it feminine by doubling the last consonant. Your masculine plural, you will add an S. And your feminine plural. So this is how you make your nationalities also, from masculine to feminine, from singular to plural. One last example that we will do to understand the masculine feminine is, for example, La Chine, China. So it's a feminine country. Chinese for a male, Chinois. This is masculine singular, Chinois. Now, because the singular form is ending with an S, your masculine plural remains exactly the same. Chinois, Chinois. For your feminine, you will add an E, Chinoise. And your feminine plural, you will add an S at the end. There is only one country in the textbook they have mentioned which is plural, which is the United States, which is les États Unis. It's plural in nature. So les États Unis, United States. So this finishes up our nationality. We will translate the comprehension, we will do the questions, and then we will do certain exercises which are there in the textbook. Les amis de Caroline, the friends of Caroline. La, c'est Samira, elle est pakistanaise. There, she is Samira, she is Pakistani. Ici, c'est Pedro, il est espagnol. Here, it is Pedro, he is Spanish. Et voilà, Sonia, elle est italienne. And there, it is Sonia, she is Italian. Caroline. Salut, comment allez-vous? Hi, how are you? Samira, Pedro and Sonia together. Très bien, very good. Caroline. J'ai une question. I have a question. Samira. Qu'est-ce que c'est? What is it? Caroline. Tu as le livre de français? You have the French textbook? Samira. Oui, j'ai le livre de français et de maths. Yes, I have the French textbook and the maths one. Sonia. Pedro, qu'est-ce que c'est? Pedro, what is it? Pedro. Ce sont des feuilles pour le contrôle. These are some papers for the test. Sonia. Ouh là là, nous avons le contrôle aujourd'hui. Oh, we have the test today. Now, these are just your vrai and faux. Vrai is true, faux is false. Pedro, Caroline and Samira are some friends, which is true. So, you will write your answer as vrai. Samira has the textbook of history. So, it is wrong. She has the textbook of French and maths. Sonia is Italian. True, because it is mentioned right at the beginning. So, your answer will be vrai. And Pedro est français, it is false because Pedro is Spanish, he is not French. Il est espagnol. We will now do certain examples from the exercises that have been given. So, on page 68, the first exercise, which is for nationalities. So, if they have given you il est chinois, you have to make it feminine. So, il est chinois. How will you make this feminine? Il becomes elle, a remains the same, chinois with a E. So chinoise. Now, for example, let's say it is il est suisse. Remember we did that adjectives which end with an E in their masculine singular form remain the same in their feminine singular form. For example, mince. M-I-N-C-E, masculine singular, feminine singular is same. So same rule applies for nationalities also. Swiss, it ends with a E in its masculine singular form. So the feminine one will exactly be the same. L-A, Swiss. There will not be any change. Let's take one more example. Il est belge. He is Belgian. The masculine singular nationality ends with an E. The feminine one will remain the same. If your sentence was il est japonais, he is Japanese, you have to convert it into feminine. Elle est japonaise. This is how you will change from masculine to feminine. Similarly, they can give you reverse also. They can give you this statement and they can ask you to make it masculine. So, for example, if they give you the statement Elle est indienne, she is Indian, and you have to make this masculine, Elle will change to il, indienne without the NE. This is how you change. But in this case, it remains the same. Just L will change to il because the feminine one and the masculine nationalities are exactly the same. Then in the second exercise, they've asked you to put it in plural. So all you have to do is change your l and la or l apostrophe to le and add an s at the end. Then on page 69, you have to rewrite these words with the definite article. So un homme, l'homme. Des garçons, les garçons. Un oiseau will become L apostrophe oiseau because it starts with a, so l'oiseau. Des vélos, les vélos. Un pupitre, le pupitre. Un avion, l'avion. Une image, l'image. So even though it starts, it's a feminine one, we have done this before. Une image, you have to convert it into definite. Starts with a vowel, this will be L apostrophe. If it was des images, plural, it would be les images. So remember, un changes to le, une changes to la, and any noun which starts with a vowel or h will be L apostrophe, and they will change to le. Keep the noun as it is. There will not be any change in the noun. And then the fifth exercise, they have asked you to put the definite article. So this is, you have to realize whether it is singular, plural, masculine, feminine. So for example, the first blank, chaise. Chair is feminine, so your answer would be la, and the second one is chaise with an s, so it will be le, L-E-S. Musée is masculine, so in this case le musée. Then in the second one it's musée with an s, so les musées. Horloge is starting with a vowel, so it will be L apostrophe, and horloge with an s, it will be les. Oiseau starting with a vowel, it has to be L apostrophe. Oiseau with an x, it has to be les because that's the plural form. So this completes our lesson 6. Thank you.